So, what's going on, guys? Chris Chuvier, martial arts nomad, Arnis International, Orlando, Florida. And we are here now for the, I guess you could call it the second installment. Or is it the first installment, since I've rebranded this now? Because, as you can tell by the title, it has a new name, and this show is much better named than it was before. Originally it was called Car Thoughts, and looking back, that name was stupid, but I couldn't think of a better name at the time. Talking to a very dear friend of mine, Gladys, who was also the reason for this video as a whole, I was given a much better title. You guys ready for it? I mean, you already read it if you read the title, but who cares? I want to give it suspense anyway. Karpool Kali in all its glory and majesty. Ah, it's such a good name. I was so upset that I couldn't think of it. Oh, my directions, because I'm going to train actually right now. But, yeah, Karpool Kali. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking. How is it carpooling if it's by yourself? Well, I have two responses. One, shut up. It's a great name. Two, I'm not alone. I have you guys. You're with me every step of the way. That's why I'm doing this. Speaking of people being with me every step of the way, speaking of people being an inspiration, a lot of people liked this idea. They liked this idea of me just talking about stuff primarily centered around martial arts in the car, because I drive a lot. And we had someone give a topic idea. I'm going to put it. Remember how I said no editing? I'm not going to do that as much anymore. I will keep everything unscripted. The no editing part will just be, I'll try to edit as much as, or as least as possible, because, I don't know, editing's a lot of work. But I want to edit this part because I want to throw in the question that she asked. So, Gladys asked a question. Here it is.
Hey, little brother, here's a little clip for you that you can post in your Karpool Kali. I am on my way to Ocala every Wednesday night. I go and drive and train with Guru Ben and Jorge and the rest of them with the FCS Ocala group. And here's the thought that I have. What do you think goes through your head when you're driving for a few hours to get to a destination? I feel excited, anticipation, and eager to learn new skills, and also pretty humble. I haven't done this in a while, getting back to traveling to different cities just to train in the middle of the week, nothing special. And I'm wondering, what do you think about?
All right. So, she asked a great question. What are your thoughts when driving to these places? You know, I drive to a lot of different places, so I have a lot of thoughts as I'm driving to these places. Like right now, I'm driving to train with Gladys and the rest of the FCS Kali Orlando crew, led by Guru Ben Zaharias, the man, the myth, the legend himself, good friend. One badass guy, but also super nice. It's gonna be, it's a lot of fun. If you're ever in Orlando, hit up Bobby Dixon's Martial Arts Academy, I think is the full name, but Sensei Eric Giannini is the son of Grandmaster Bobby Dixon, whom, if you were ever a fan of the competitive fighting tournament days, you know the name. But yeah, I'm on my way to go train with them, and I'm also turning left onto a road here. Where was I going? Yeah, thoughts on what I'm doing and when I'm doing and why I'm traveling and blah blah blah. And it all depends, depending on where I'm going, depending on which event I'm going to. More often than not, I'm tired. Like right now, I've been up since 3. I usually get up at 3 because of my work. And during the weekends, I try to keep it as a routine to get up at 3 still, so my body is not too unadjusted for when I got to go back to work. But, yeah, so my thoughts are very sporadic when I'm traveling. When I'm going to train with Filipino groups, we'll put it that way, we'll go into categories. Filipino-based systems, those types of groups. If it's a new one, as in like when I went to Ormond Beach for the first time to work with some of the Inosanto guys, to train under them and to learn from them, not train under, because it was just a class, but to learn from them, the whole time up, I was thinking, man, I wonder what they're going to show me. I wonder what I can learn. When I'm going to train with the FCS Kali people, I'm always thinking, man, I can't wait to see so-and-so. I wonder if so-and-so will be there. I wonder how so-and-so's been. I wonder what I'm going to learn. When I'm going to Serrata Eskrima group that I train with, I'm always thinking, man, I wonder what I can get. I wonder what I can learn. I wonder who's going to be there. They differ, but they're not that different, you know? When I got to meet Grandmaster Bobby Tabata for the first time in South Florida under Balintawak, shout out to June, who's heading that up. You know, I kept thinking, man, I'm gonna meet the one and only Bobby Tabata, the man, the myth, the legend, the great Grandmaster Bobby Tabata. That's honored to meet him and to talk with him and just be treated like family. Excuse me again, I'm tired. I've been up for a while, and tomorrow I get to do it again. But half day tomorrow, so score. But those are some of the thoughts I'm thinking when I'm going to try with FMA groups. Is, you know, what's different about our systems? What's similar about our systems? Do I know anyone in that group? Do I know people who've done that? Am I weighing what they've said about that group? Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's all about just, you know, the blending of it all for me when I'm going to FMA events. When I'm going to events that we do every year, I'm primarily focused on who am I going to see that I consider family that I haven't seen in probably a year. You know, the Jacksonville one we do every year. You know, there are people there that I only see once or twice a year, and they're family to me. Like, some of those people have known me since I was a teenager. And I don't see them very often, but it's like distant family. But not that distant, like we're in the same state. I just don't see them very often because lives and everything. But we always make it a point that seminar, say hi to each other and to talk and to hang out. Like one of my cousins, essentially. She's not really my cousin, but she's like my cousin. The head of the HKI social media pages, you know, she's like family to me, but I don't see her very often. But we've known each other since we were kids. You know, that's what I look forward to those events, like just seeing people that I don't see very often. Now, those are like some specific, well, it's very specific, they're all kind of the same thing. I'm always looking to see people again. Like I love meeting new people, I love hanging out with people, I love learning from people, I love the community aspect, I love the cross training, I just love training. So I'm going to go do it with as many people as possible. I believe firmly in what Remy Price has said. Go out and touch as many hands as possible. Don't limit yourself. Don't hold yourself back. You know, once you have fundamentals, let me preface this. If you have fundamentals in a system, or if you don't have fundamentals in a system, you really shouldn't do a lot of outside your realm. Pick up an understanding first. When you have an understanding, explore. I think you were doing the martial arts world as a whole and you personally a disservice if you stay in one thing forever. That's just my view of it. Not everyone agrees with that. I know that might have pissed off some people who are long-time believers of only doing one thing forever, but I'm telling you, for me personally, you're missing out on so much, man. Like, I know some people who are very hell-bent that their way is it, and is, you know, that's the way it's got to be. I don't agree with that. I don't believe any art is the best art. We had this discussion in the last video. I believe from learning from as many people as possible. And some people say, well, you really can't learn from someone in one class. That's not true. That means you don't know how to learn right. There are things I picked up from that one interaction with Bobby Tabata that I didn't see before. There are things I picked up at every FCS class I go to, like tonight. I'm going to see something that Guru Ben does. I'm going to pick something up and I'm going to go, wow, I didn't think of it that way. Every time. Without failure. And people say, we need to be more committed to blah, blah, blah. I think that's where people are wrong as well, especially in the world of FMA.
On to McGuire Boulevard.
Do I think every art is unique? Absolutely. Do I think every art has the things that make them unique? Absolutely. Do I think every art is so unique that there is no crossover, there is no convergence? Not at all.
Turn right onto East Colonial Drive.
I think in FMA especially, there are more things that make us similar than there are that make us different. When it comes to FMA, not Filipino culture, not where the art was founded, not those things, maybe that plays a case, but in my opinion, from all the arts that I've practiced and gone to classes with, and people that I've touched hands with and cross-trained with, I find more similarities than I do
Then at
differences.
the next one, turn right.
And some people say, well, you don't treat them the same. Well, it's not true. Or you don't treat them correctly. Well, maybe not. I view everything with an empty cup because I want to learn as much as possible. What's funny is that this video is about thoughts on when I'm going to go train. These are thoughts I'm having right now about going to go train. And I'm just filming them. You know? This whole premise behind Karpool Kali was designed as a way for me to voice my thoughts. Because people tell me that I have a voice. Maybe I do. Maybe none of you care what I have to say. Cool. Then why'd you watch this much? Others of you think what I say is worth listening to, with some objectivity.
Turn right onto
Maybe you
East
think I'm
Colonial
completely full of
Drive.
shit, but you're still giving me a chance. That's awesome. You know? Those are just some of the thoughts I have when I'm driving. I'm also usually hungry. Like, I'm usually pretty hungry when I'm driving for 2 hours or more. Because, you know, and I've usually got... Holy crap, I'm tired. I got a big Zephyr Hills water bottle. It's bigger than my head. But... I don't know, man. I love doing it. I've put so many miles on my car since I got this thing. I've driven to places that people are like, why don't you just fly? Because there's something about being on the road, man. I think that's kind of where this namesake came from, of being the nomad. The martial arts nomad. Maybe I'll do a video one day really getting into why I named myself that and why I stopped calling myself Kung Chu. That name sucked. It was a pun. People who got it, got it. People who didn't get it thought I was an idiot. But anyway, you know, I think the most important thing about this video in particular, one, rebranding, Karpool Kali. Great name, isn't it? Thank you, Gladys, again. But two, thoughts on when you go training. Let your mind wander. Let your mind be free of any preconceived ideas of what you're going to experience when you're training with people you've never met before.
2.5 miles, turn right into the...
Because you never know what's going to happen. You know, when I first went to go train with the Serrata group, I found them on Meetup. I didn't tell them who I was. They had no idea who I was. They'd never heard of me or my dad. They'd heard of Modern Arnis, but I didn't even tell them I was Modern Arnis exactly. I came in with 2 long sticks. One of their guys was very much like, oh, you know, it's going to be harder to do our system with long sticks. And I said, maybe, let me try it, though. You know, they didn't know that I was the son of a grandmaster who could, you know, I didn't say I could beat them, but I could pick up things they do. I'm not trying to say I beat anybody, but I'm very good at learning patterns. I'm very good at learning drills. Like, you teach me a move, I can learn it in less than 5 minutes. It's this weird thing about me. And it's only gotten better because I've cross-trained with so many people. But, you know, I was learning their things pretty quickly. One of the guys looked at me, figured out, goes, so how long you did Modern Arnis for? And I went, shit, you caught me. Then I told him the whole thing. Oh, dude, why'd you lie to us? Blah, blah, blah. I said, well, guys, because to be honest, I've been around this game a minute, and I've seen people, when they hear you do other systems, they can be kind of dicks. I didn't know what you'd be like. And these guys are like, bro, we totally get that. You're good with us, though. You don't be a dick, we won't be a dick. It's that simple. And that's how we should all be in martial arts, you know? Regardless of what you're doing in life, you should not be a dick. Now, granted, sometimes that's necessary, but back to the point at hand. When I'm going to train with people, I'm usually excited the entire time. From beginning to turning on the gas to parking it at their place, I'm usually excited. I was just in Fort Myers for a Kumbatan seminar, or Gladys seminar. I forget what the name of the style was, but the main focus was a spotty daga. That was tons of fun. The whole way up, I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna learn some more from the Praisa styles. I'm excited. And then I see a bunch of friends that I haven't seen in a while. And I had so many great conversations. You know, that's the fun part of all this stuff. So yeah, I think that answered the question of what are my thoughts while I'm driving. If not, I'm sure I'll have more thoughts while I'm driving at some point. I'm tired as heck. Sorry, this video really, you know, is a weirder one, but I figured after the last one, it's a better kind of palate cleanser. That's another thing I do when I'm driving places. I do impressions and accents just for fun. That was a mix of a Canadian-Irish, but that wasn't the plan. But, you know, the last one got pretty deep for a minute. You know, what's the best martial art? And I think I said some stuff. I forget what I said. But that was a serious topic. This one, not as serious. But there's going to be some more in the near future, I'm thinking, that'll probably be serious. So I'm reformatting how I do this. I guess that's the end of the video, but, you know, we're going to go with some housekeeping stuff. One, the new name, Karpool Kali. Shout out Gladys. The formatting of this will be, if I do have anything that pops in my head, I'm going to start filming. I'll keep that the same. But if I don't, and I know I have a long drive, or like if I know I have a long drive coming, I'm going to try to think of an idea ahead of time. Just to help the brain flow. It will still be as unscripted as possible. You know, I'm not going to write anything down. I'm not going to edit out my yawns because I believe in realism and genuineness. And some authenticity, if you will. But yeah, you know, this is fun. If you guys have any other things you want me to answer, any topics you want me to discuss, if you want to be featured in this video like Gladys is, feel free to film yourself with your question, send it to me, and I'll throw it in here. Why not? And I'm still looking forward to some of the drives I got coming up. I'm going to have some friends in the car, hopefully. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'd like to do this as a real Karpool Kali style where there's people in the back seat or whatever. But anyway, guys, that's it. Be sure to like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications to find out when I'm doing more of this type of stuff. Look for some more training. I haven't done a lot of training videos in a while. Actually, no, I did. I did them before this one was a training video. But either way, I want to do some of those too. And that's it. I have been Chris Chu, the martial arts nomad, Arnis International, and I'll see you guys later.